What's up, world, and welcome to our show, Cuzzo Convo. We're your hosts, RONNIE
and LUVLEE. We're here to have an open dialogue about all things Black reality TV, highlighting positivity and giving out real life accountability checks.
So grab your seat and whatever you need, because we about to dig in.
What's going on, Cuzzos? Welcome back to another episode of
Cuzzo
Convo. We are LUVLEE.
And I'm Renaissance Ronnie.
And so we're going to go ahead and jump into this week's episode, the latest episode of A Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Yeah.
And so, yes, let's jump right on in. So, you know, I would say one of the positive is that even though Martell came with the shadiness of having all the women there, we did not see any
inappropriate behavior.
Right. Any inappropriate behavior displayed on camera.
Yes.
Again, we can't say what happened off, but we can definitely see that it was definitely
as messy as Carlos is. I'm sure he had them people, the cameraman on call 24 hours, like watch him, right. make sure we want to catch it. Like if it's gonna go down, if it's going down, we want to make sure we catch it.
But apparently something that I heard allegedly on the internet streets is that one of the girls, one of the women that spoke to Marceau, allegedly, make sure y'all get that, is he knows her very well. Like he freaks with her like very well. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah. And didn't Marceau make a comment about something about his wedding ring?
Yes, it was in his pocket. The reason why I don't know, but it was.
Now I know, my stepdad, he hates rings. He said it's just something about like something being on his finger really bothers him. But out of all the years that Marceau has been on television, we've never heard him say, Tisha knows this. She can tell you, I don't really like rings, so you'll find it off, you'll find it on, you'll find it off,
But if you don't wear it, why even mention it? Because you don't wear it anyway. It's at home or in your jewelry box or whatever. Like, why even say, why have it in your pocket? Why is it in your pocket? Why is it even with you if it's something you don't even wear anyway?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I'm just, yeah. So
Marceau being Marceau.
Huh?
Marceau being Marceau.
Yes, messy Marceau.
Very much.
But apparently the young lady that he was speaking to, they know each other very well. So I don't know. We're gonna have to come back on that one and see.
I'm sure it'll be Miss Wanda will find out.
Child, it's so interesting though. Them focusing on the men. Totally, like I forgot about Miss Wanda. I forgot about Destiny, Stormy. Like, we
got a whole other cast that we just haven't seen in like weeks.
Exactly, and I just was like, oh, okay. I'm like, where they been? So anyway, so Martell has his event where he has on his little gray fox or whatever he's got going on.
What did he have on?
I don't know.
Was he a trip? Because when they was going home, was he gonna wear that tight ass suit all the way home? Like, was he about to get in the car with that suit on from Atlanta to Huntsville? Isn't it like a 3-hour drive? Like 3 to 4 hour drive.
3 to 4 hours. Mm-hmm.
And he had on like a full blown, like when they were packed up to, not to skip ahead, but like when they were packed up to get ready to go home, he had like a full blown. I was like, what is going on? Why he got that tight ass outfit on? Like he about to go. He looked like he was about to go to the Stellar Awards or like he I just don't even know. Like, I just couldn't figure it out. Was he
I don't
about
know.
to give away like an NAACP award? Like, were they about to stop somewhere? Or what's the one for colleges? The UNICEF awards?
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
I just couldn't understand. I was like, because the thing about it is, it's one thing to wear just like a suit, which would be
Mhm.
ridiculous to just be sitting in a car. But Martell's clothes are really tight.
Yes, they are. Yes,
And
they are. And I don't.
so for
Mm.
you to be sitting there for 3 hours and your crotch all jacked up, your arms all, and you all barely
Smooth.
busting out your shirt and
That's why. That's why he be having that shirt all. What you call them? Like, you know, unbuttoned because he need to breathe a little.
right. And so for him to, I mean, when he parted ways in the marriage, he must have took some of Mel's first and throw it over his shoulder at the party. I was just like, Marcel, is Melanika your stylist too? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't
He
know.
really, it was really giving, I don't even know, coming to America themed birthday party. It just was a
He
lot.
wanted to, I'll tell you this. He wanted to make sure that everybody in that place knew that he was the CEO, CFO, owner, producer. He wanted everybody, like, nobody was going
Polish
to
SHIT. Because
right.
that's the
Nobody was
only
going to
word he knew.
question, like, oh, are you the creator? He was like, can't you tell?
Right.
Like, I got my kitty cat fur on.
Right.
But yes, so in all seriousness, he, he was thanking everybody and
For eating and
about,
drinking shit.
huh?
For eating and drinking shit. That's what he said in his speech.
Yeah, he, like he said, he's been in the background so much that, and they showed them clips. I said,
Yes,
Carla, I was
that
like,
was
that was
shady.
so
Mel
shady.
was his mouthpiece. Like Mel was the one who, you know, she kept it together. Like it's very much an extrovert, and she stepped out, and she would, make do the speeches. It would be their thing, but she was the face of everything, and he's just lost.
Hmm. Hmm. It's interesting because they were both teachers. So,
Oh, he was a teacher.
mhm.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So it is interesting. I mean, like I can understand with her, like, being in a classroom all the time, you're always on. But yeah, but no, he said it in uh uh sometime this season that he was like, we were both teachers. And then I got,
Uh,
and then I left first and then, blah blah whatever. And then I told her to follow suit. But yeah, so in the
should have
midst of
let
this.
guys help him. Like he should have let Maurice. Like he should have like brought them in, like to chime in. Like, what do you guys think to like help Maurice? Well, they ain't even saved. They could have saved him a little bit. Like that speech was horrible.
Yes. And you know who else thought it was horrible? Uncle Sammy.
Uncle Sam said he didn't say shit up there. I mean, he said that MF ain't say shit, and his wife was just like, mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah. I don't, now the thing is, now he did, obviously he talked about, it being named after his grandmother. He was like, she was so I don't, the thing is that I guess my question to Uncle Sam would be, what more did you want him to say? Because I don't feel like he slighted her, but did he want to?
Yeah, I don't think he slighted her. I just think Uncle Sam felt like he should have talked a little bit more about what she meant to the family and why he wanted to honor her in that way, I guess. He felt
But
like,
I felt like that once they showed the camera on Uncle Sam and when he was bringing up everybody and he didn't bring up Uncle Sam, I felt like Uncle Sam was more offended that he wasn't getting brought up, or that he wasn't brought up, more than I think it was about their deceased mom slash grandma.
mm,
Like, I don't know, like, because again, I'm thinking like, okay, what did you really, especially because we already saw him fighting for his life in the speech. So what more
Right.
did you want for him to say? Like, you know, I remember Granny, like, and the only thing that I can think about is unless Granny was like she made wine herself, or she was an entrepreneur herself, and so this is my reasoning for naming, you know, she always used to sit me down and say, hey, be in your own, like, I don't that's what I'm saying, like, I just wish that Uncle Sam, in the midst of Uncle Sam going back, or them trying to whatever, and him telling him don't do this on TV, on national television, I just wish that Uncle Sam would have said, hey, listen, like, I get you, I hear you, I understand, I'm only offended, or I feel like you could have said more, such as. But we
Right.
never got to hear that, so it just felt like it was unnecessary, and I really just felt like Uncle Sam was really just really upset that he was not brought up like the boys. Because didn't I think he even had a comment, and he was like, these people who didn't even help you in the process, like.
Yeah, I think he felt that way too. Like him mentioning the guys, it was like, why are you mentioning them when, you know, that's my mother?
Right.
So yeah,
But I
maybe
mean,
he
Uncle
felt like he
Sammy,
didn't get enough spotlight.
my thing is, yes, but Uncle Sammy, if you weren't a part, like, just like with them, and when I guess that's what he probably is saying, like, they wasn't a part of the process at all. And I mean, I can't say
But
that
Uncle Sammy don't know what they were a part of.
this is true.
All he
This is true.
knows, they're financially backing Martell. Like he didn't know.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I think Uncle Sammy just needs to cool it down. I agree. He was like, don't do this. But
Like we on
go
national.
but he pulled him
It's
to the
like Uncle
side.
Sammy
I
was
was
like, I
like,
don't
he
care.
over here saying this, like, this some mafia stuff. Like, we know we're not gonna do this. But yeah, I don't know.
It was probably, like you said, a better way for Uncle Sammy to say, like, you know, as his uncle, to just like really pull him to the side and just be like, I understand that maybe you had too much to drink, or maybe you were nervous. I noticed that you might have been nervous, but um, mom was really like the matriarch of our family, and
Hmm.
I think you should really, if you ever have the opportunity to really speak about this again, I think you should really honor her in that way. Like I was a little disappointed, and so it was a better way for Uncle Sammy to approach him and talk to him about it.
Absolutely. And just like I don't agree with, going back a little bit, how Destiny came at Mel at her event. Like, there's a time and place for everything. So he could have been upset and whatever, and just excuse himself and say, hey, listen, nephew, I'm going to head out. We'll talk later. We'll catch up and whatever. And then they could have just had a conversation. Because, and this is the thing, like, is Uncle Sammy don't seem that much older than Martell.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he don't really
I
seem
wonder
that
if that's
old. So
her,
I'm assuming
her
they
younger brother.
probably grew up more like brothers
I was
than.
going to say that it seems like the grandmother probably um, had a lot to do with the raising of Martell.
Mm-hmm.
And Uncle Sammy, like you said, is probably close in age to Martell. And so they probably all grew up like in the same household, because I believe Martell's mother was like a really young mother.
Mm-hmm.
And so she probably, was still at home raising him, and her mom helping her raise him and stuff like that. So,
Right.
does
Yeah.
Martell's mom, and I don't want to put this out there. I don't, and it's not. I'm not being negative. I'm just asking. Does she have a history that we know of any like drug use?
Drug use. I
Yeah.
don't know, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, just growing up, knowing, having aunties and uncles in that life,
Yeah.
she gives me very much that.
That she's, yeah.
And you would never really know unless like a family member or outsider who knew her told it, because Martell ain't about to let that be slip out. He'll say like,
Mm-hmm.
my mom struggled, or my mom was a single mom, and she had but he ain't about to say my mom had her problems with addiction or whatever, because
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
you gotta look a little pretty, not on national TV. And that's
Yeah.
his problem. He was on a reality show and he keep trying to look buttoned up in a tight ass shirt.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Yeah.
busting out your shirt. It ain't perfect. It ain't as buttoned up as you making it seem. You obviously you had a whole side baby, so
Yes. Busted. But yes, so so that whole situation happened. And then of course we have the guys, they're making their way back home at this point. And
well, Lou went home early.
right, Lou went home
I
early.
was confused about that.
I was too, because the way that the editing, it didn't seem like he went home early.
Right.
Sorry.
And then it was like, was it his family member who did he have a death like in his side of the family, or did Tiffany have a death in her side of the family? Because it was the way he said it was like, I had a death in my family, but then Tiffany said, I'm gonna go down to um Montgomery or whatever part of
Yeah,
Alabama. I'm gonna
right.
go down tomorrow. So did you want to go with me? And he's like, yeah, I'll go with you. And
Yeah,
it's
I'm
like,
going. Yeah, I don't
why
know.
wouldn't he go? It's his family member who died. Like or maybe it's hers, and he just said I had a family member because he's just counting her family as his family.
His family, right?
It was
Yeah.
just very confusing. I was like, that ain't making sense. Like, if it's your family member, why wouldn't you be going down to the funeral? And why would she ask you, are you going with me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who passed away? Whose
Yeah.
family, side of the family is it on?
Yeah. So guys are back,
Guys are
and
back and they're telling their
we
wives.
right how everything was. And so Maurice and Kimmy's conversation. Kimmy wanted she was like, straight shooter, here's my Be More coming out. I just need to know, am I going to see another, because it's going to show up on social media, so just let me know. And he was like, well, she said, oh, don't give me all that, just tell me. He was like, well, I was like,
I didn't
child.
caress. I touched, but I didn't caress. I was like, that was kind of like a weird question though. Like, did you touch anyone? Like, it's a strip club.
Really?
To me, that was a weird question. I mean, he went to a strip club. I mean,
Because the thing is,
I
I
think
thought that
I would
you
have thought
couldn't
the question would
even.
have been like, did you get a lap dance? Maybe
Yeah,
more
because I was
so
about to say, I
that
thought that you can't touch them,
you
and
can't.
unless you have paid for a service to, like, I know like they have like private rooms or whatever like that. So that's why unless Atlanta is a little bit differently, or operates different where all options are available. You can
Yeah.
tap, caress, flick, snap, bend it,
I mean,
whatever.
he's like, I just like smacked the money on him. I didn't like put the money on him, like, but you're really supposed to just be throwing it, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. Like,
But like I
how
said,
old
I would have
are
thought she would have been like, did you get a lap dance? Not did you touch anyone? Like, did you touch anyone?
they? Yeah, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
weird. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know either.
Like, I don't know. I didn't think that. How old are they again? I don't know. It's just strip
They
club.
got to be in their mid-40s, right? At
In their
least.
mid-40s that are married still going to the strip club. I don't know.
Yeah, girl. Tony not into strippers.
You said what?
Tony not into strippers.
No, 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 no. We don't do none of that over here.
Secretly. Tony, are you secretly into strippers?
Nah, he already know. No, it ain't gonna go down. Mm-mm.
We have
No.
been to strip clubs together, so
Oh, really? Yeah, no, I'm good. I have no interest or desire to
maybe I
see
should
no.
invite you and
I
Tony
don't.
to the strip club for the chicken wings.
Right. I don't. The thing is, like,
Oh, you don't eat
I
chicken
don't. I don't. Not the chicken.
for the veggie tray.
Right. I don't like. I mean, I respect the hustle, but because I know that they get paid. But strippers, I used to work
At a
when I
strip
was
club?
a male strip club. Well, I was doing
I don't
both.
like male strippers.
I was doing both, but I wasn't like I was working for a promotional company. I was doing
Oh yeah, yeah.
marketing.
Right.
Yeah. And so I had to go into the strip clubs, and I was both men and women. And the women atmosphere was just real weird. And I just was like, yeah, okay. I think I remember them playing R. Kelly, like Seems Like You're Ready. And I just was
Not Players Club.
and I just was like, God, I was like, yeah, let me hurry up and get my numbers and get out of here. It was just not. It was just. And then when I used to do the guys, I used to just hang out with all the girlfriends that were
Of
like
the
they
strippers.
of the strippers, because I was just like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm not into all this. I just like nasty, sweaty balls in my face. Like,
I definitely don't want anyone doing pony in front of me, like moving
moving
furniture.
the couch.
They can
Yeah.
keep that.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
we
It's just,
digress. I mean, yeah, so
and yeah, no, it's just never been my thing, ever, 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 ever. But yes,
but
anyway.
over at Marcel and Tisha's, they were having a conversation about the trip.
Yeah.
And well, mostly not even the trip. It was mostly about Tiffany and Lou and Lou's
Lou.
frustration
Mm-hmm.
with the lack of sex.
Yeah.
And so Tisha was basically like, I'd like to hear Tiffany's side of this. Where so Marcel was like, I ain't about to be in no sexless relationship. Like,
And he said, and if he was, then it was going to be between him and his wife, and not the whole world.
right,
So,
he definitely was.
so
I know
we'll
they
never
be at
know if he's actually in a sexless marriage,
right.
because allegedly, I mean, yeah. Anyway, but but he did. Tisha, I will say, Tisha brought up some really good points about, being a stay-at-home mother, and then
The schedules of a
transitioning.
mom.
Yeah, like, I mean, men, like you said earlier, men's needs and wants and desires, specifically when it comes to sex, is very, very different. And I think that when the woman has the weight of the world on her shoulders, when she got kids saying, mommy, 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 I want, mommy, can I have, mommy, whatever, and then you've got your own whatever. So whether it is, your entrepreneurship or your career, we're not over here thinking the first thing like this. Woo, all right, let me go ahead and get ready so my husband can lay the pipe. Like,
First of all, like, you could be in the hospital bed and just gave birth, and they'd be like, so how long did the doctor say we gotta wait? And it's like, dang,
yeah,
the whole
it's
baby
funny.
out
I
my vagina.
saw a video what do they call, what you call them, nurses? What do they call the delivery nurses? And they were saying, like, how many times when the woman is had after having a baby, how many couples they catch having sex after delivery, and that
That gotta hurt. I'm for real, like, that gotta be painful.
Well, first of all, I don't know if it's painful, because child, ain't it just loose and open? I mean, what do you even?
That too, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, and you spraying the little numb spray down there, so maybe that's what they doing. Maybe they spraying the numb spray and saying, "Have your way." Like,
I just really felt like, because I had natural birth, like, after, I just felt like my insides was on my outside after pushing. Like, I wouldn't even, oh,
yeah,
I
no,
wouldn't even
I
you
definitely wouldn't
couldn't even
consider it.
climb on top of me. No.
Yeah, and I tore, so I definitely wouldn't have what you call them. Yeah, because even after, like, when my midwife called me and she was like, "All right, so have we returned back to sex?" I said no, because I got stitches. She was like, "How long has it been?" I said it's been like 7 or 8 weeks. She said, "Honey, them stitches is healed up. You can go ahead and get yourself together with your husband." I said, "Okay." I said, "This is my first child. I don't know." And she
I
was
mean,
like, "Them stitches is done." I was like, "Okay."
I have a cousin who, we have a cousin. I'll tell you who it is. But, you know, her babies, like she had a baby and then like 2 months later she was pregnant again. And it was like, so like her kids stayed the same age for a little while. And it was like, girl, y'all ain't wait 6 weeks. Y'all, you was ready?
You was ready. Or she could have had, it's a specific pregnancy where she actually could have gotten pregnant while she was pregnant.
No, she busted wide open. She was ready.
It's rare, but it happens.
No, yeah, she was ready before her.
But yeah,
she gonna watch this and be like, okay, you telling why you telling my business?
Yeah, no, but yeah, I don't know. It's but I get it. I get what Tisha is saying about like just having a lot of responsibilities, and a lot of times sex is just not, it's just not on the forefront of our minds.
Especially when you, and I hate that I don't want to get too far off the subject, but especially like when you don't, I don't want to say don't have money, but don't come for money. Like you're working towards something, like you have a goal in mind.
Yeah.
And it's like you constantly trying to work at that goal and trying to make a better life for your family. And unfortunately, and I'm not saying it's right, unfortunately, it's like you ain't even thinking about like, let me go home and put this lingerie on and knock this man boots. It's like, okay, did I finish my business plan? Did I do this, do that? Okay, let me get this done. Like, and then especially in my house, like me and my husband are business partners. And it's so like, sometimes it's like, okay, we need to turn the business off and turn, the sexy on, because it's like, we in the bed and I'm like, did you book that low last? Like, are you gonna do Amazon? Like, it's like, we're talking about work, and it's like, I'm kissing you on your neck and you asking me about Amazon? Like, I just had a thought.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
And that's what it's probably like with Tiffany. Like I said, Tiffany probably penciling him in. Tiffany probably like.
Now I will say I do have some friends that do have scheduled sex, and
that's weird.
But I have heard that a lot of therapists actually recommend it, and they've seen a lot of growth in people's marriages for scheduling and saying, hey, this is our schedule, this is when we gonna do it, whatever. But yes,
but when you do,
be like, y'all already know, don't call me on Tuesdays and Thursdays after 10 p.m. because that's when it's going down with me and my husband. Like, and I'm like, okay, thank you.
But when you do the schedule, doesn't it feel like an obligation? Like, I don't want my sex life to feel like an obligation. I want it to be natural.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it ain't even, if I ain't feeling it, it's not. I look.
So I'll say this. I think that if it is a schedule, then it's probably a whole.
It's a schedule, and then at that moment you turn it on. It's like, okay,
it's probably things that like add up. Like, you're sending like little text messages here or something. You give something, a little something like before you, to make you think about it. And then once you come home, you're like, all right, yeah, I've been waiting for this all day. So I think that there's things that couples do to but yeah, everything isn't for everybody, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm gonna end the day because my dad is a fan of this show. It's just weird to me.
Yeah. So anyway, yes. So that's that. But again, like I said, I agree with Tisha as far as really trying to balance out. It's hard. It's hard. It's not easy for women, for sure. Unless a woman has a high sex drive.
Yeah, some nymphos out here that probably
get like Winter, and we'll be talking about her next. But yeah, so all right, y'all, we gonna end this, and we'll see y'all later.
Yeah, because that was really it. Oh wait, I just want to mention one thing. Mel, Mel is falling into that. My husband cheated, so yours might be cheating trap.
Now
Like,
I don't know. I don't know because see, remember when she had the conversation with what's that girl's
Tiffany.
name? Tiffany. And she was
Okay.
like,
I mean, I
no,
guess.
don't put that in the atmosphere. Like, you know, she was like, we're not going to even go there. So I don't know. I don't know if it's really,
give her some grace.
so because I'll say there's two things. I don't know if it's that or we already know that Martell, because they were married, we ain't gonna act like we don't go back to if a spouse says something.
Pillow talking.
Exactly. So you know,
guess
Maurice could have went from caress to squeezing and
wiping.
Exactly. We don't know.
Yeah.
So
okay. We can end it on that note. We're gonna get. I guess I'll extend you some grace, Mel.
Yeah, but no. If I didn't hear her say that to Tiffany, then I would, say that I think that she's projecting her. What was that?
Child.
Oh, it's Bubbles. But I think that
See, this is the life of a mother.
That she might be projecting whatever her hurt is onto the other couples to be like, y'all really just let y'all husbands go with Martell,
Yeah.
And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, she has a point.
I mean, but they grown men, like they control themselves. Martell can't make them do nothing.
Right, but just like Martell ain't say, hey, it's
gonna be all ladies.
He throws the temptation at them, like, and they're like, oh, we thought this was going to just be a guy's trip. Like, what are you doing? Like, you really over here trying to make us be the men that the internet say that we are.
Right.
So, I mean, to Mel's point, she got a point there. I'm like, yeah, might want to watch yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah. But anyway, all right, Cuzzos, we are out. Join us on the next episode. We're going to be talking about love and marriage. DC.
Those.
So we're going to
see y'all
later. Remember to love up on that like button.
Yes.
And share, subscribe, comment,
all of it.
Peace.